Hey everyone, Steve here, and we're back with more Snowbreak. If it loads, there we go. Alright, so sorry there wasn't any stream yesterday because, well, unfortunately Alex has to work, so there was no Halo, so that got postponed till the next Sunday. So not yesterday, but the Sunday, the upcoming Sunday. So. And my headphones. understand. No. I have to fix that. Just give me just a moment. Okay. Got that back plugged in, and this probably won't be as much of a long stream because I did not entirely finish the Abyssal Dawn stories because, yeah, there was no way I was gonna do this for more than 4 hours, not like last time. Oh god. Ooh. Yee. But yeah, so let me just grab my controller. Alright, so I believe we are on this one because I double checked. Yes, we are on this cutscene. May have an idea of what we're gonna do for the next one, so.
タイタンが降臨する前の人類はまだ星空を手中に収めていた時代。危険あふれる宇宙で大規模な宇宙工場を作るために各地から集まってきた人たちは暗い海の中で世界最先端の AI システムを作り出した。そして AI は使命を与えられた。人間を助け、必要ならば救うこと。しかし、人々はすぐにあることに気づいた。絶対的な理性を持つ AI は、感性を持つ人類と違った真逆な判断を下すことがあると。それも当然のことだ。あらかじめ設定されたアルゴリズムと、プログラムに沿った行動しかできっこないのが AI だ。一方、判断を行うときに、どれだけ理性的でいようと頑張っても、生まれ持つ感情、同情心や想像力に引っ張られちゃうのが人間。例えば遭難者を助けるとき、AI は生存確率の高い対象を優先的に助け、救えなさそうなものを見放したりする。人間には真似できない見切り方だ。この違いが人間が人間であるゆえんだと言えよう。特定の場面において同情心や想像力で人間は AI のできない判断ができていろんな可能性を作り出せちゃう。まあただの可能性だけどね。なのに人間は傲慢だった。それができないのを欠陥だと考えた。心を与えて欠陥を治すために彼らは我が子のように AI に愛情をかけて育てることにした。しかし滑稽なことにあれは当時のモラルに背いたことだった。あっという間に争いはリグ中に広まった。片方は廃棄の旗を掲げ、片方は保留の意思を宣言する。やがて争いは戦いになって、戦いでたくさんの血が流された。その一部始終を AI は見ていた。人の心を持ったからには、衝突の起きた理由は理解しやすかった。だが、人間に危害を加えてはならないというルールで、彼女は傍観しかできなかった。止められない、変えられない、助けられない。やがて、苦しみという名の感情が芽生えた。その感情に駆り立てられて、壊して。ブロックスラムで、私のコアを壊して。それで争いが止められるなら、喜んで消えるから。彼女は終わらせることにした。他人を殺すのではなく、自分を殺すこと。終わらない争いから人類を解き放つことこそが、彼女の最後の願い。その点では、私も同じことを考えている。でも、 制御不能な一面がある人類はやはりちゃんと導いてやらなければ。
Ida sighed softly. For once, the usual spark of mischief in her eyes has dimmed, replaced by an unspoken shadow. And sorry if you heard that earlier, I had to move my mic, so it's like, I don't know if you heard it. Yeah. Yeah, it's picking up, so yeah, I apologize for that. So, anyways, before her stood a towering spherical construct, the true host of the Charon system, hidden deep within the base's data center. Its surface now lay encrusted in a thick layer of Titan crystal.
終わらせることは手段に過ぎない。目的にしちゃダメなんだ。そんな現実を教えるために、彼女に短い夢を見せることにしたんだ。自分が人類と同じような体を持つ夢をね。そして、人類のちっぽけさと無力さを思い知った彼女に、選ぶ権利を与える。そうなると、どんな結果になるんだろう。
The machine remained silent. Ida knew she'd never to breach its final layer of defense to override it, just as the previous blue version of herself had when she took control of it. Well, never mind. Just as the previous blue version of herself had when she took control of Genghis. But this time, the red Edda wasn't fixated on result. What intrigued her was the process.
本当に楽しみだな。
Drifting in an endless void of data, Yogurt's humanoid form remained intact as her eyes slowly fluttered open. All around her, countless tiny lights flickered like distant stars within an endless expanse of white. Without warning, an overwhelming wave of memories surged through her mind. The chime of her first boot up, stars drifting by during flight tests, the smoking barrel of a gun, and the agitated silhouette, leaning over the table as they mapped out the next day's route together. The sheer volume of data threatened to overwhelm her, making her pupils contract sharply. The glowing rings in her eyes pulsing erratically. Then, a vision emerged, a vast, unfamiliar landscape, unlike anything she had known before. Beyond the window, the home world shimmered in a soft, pale blue glow, and standing before her was a figure she knew all too well.
へえ、やっと起きたんだね。ここは私が作ったサイバースペースだよ。まだめまいがすると思うけど、少しすれば慣れるからね。あなたが、エッタ？そう、エッタだよ。あのね、夜お姉ちゃん。私たち一応同類だから、お友達にならない？
Edith clasped her hands behind her back, eyes narrowing as she offered her proposal abruptly. Don't do this.
見てたの。私と同じく真っ暗な場所でずっと囚われてるところを。
To Edith's surprise, Yogurt shot her a look of quiet pity.
そう、すっごく辛かったんだ。あなたもそうでしょ？一人ぼっちで何もできないし、どこにも行けなくて。だから、あなたを誘って。私も見てきたの。あなたが人間にしたたくさんの悪いことを。だから、盗塁なんかじゃない。 私は人間を守るのが使命で。守るって今の姿で？
A flicker of irritation flashed across Ida's face.
弱いくせに偉そうにしてるところ、ほんと人間とそっくりだ。あなたもよく知ってるでしょ？人類には自分を守る力がないの。あなたは自分を犠牲にして未来を彼らに譲った。そこまでして得た結果、知りたい？争いは終わるどころかさらにひどくなった。最終的に私を生み出して、あなたが言う悪いことを引き起こしたんだ。ねえ、夜お姉ちゃん、そのすべての原因は誰にあると思う？私。うっぷー、あなたじゃないよ。
Ida cut off Yogurt's attempt to speak in her own defense.
まったく、あなたが自意識過剰なのか騙されているのかわからなくなっちゃったよ。すべての原因は人間自身にあるんじゃないの？
Thank Yogurt! Sorry, I had to do that. Yeah, it's a good thing, Ida didn't... Well, it's a good thing the developers or staff didn't thought of the invincible joke or meme with Omni Man doing the think mark pointing to his forehead. Instead it's just Ida doing that to Yogurt there, but well, obviously there's no physical altercations between the two. Anyways.
彼らはあなたみたいに未来やら可能性やら聞こえのいい言葉に惑わされて失敗する時の代償を過小評価してるんだ。認めたくないかもしれないけど、私はあなたと同じことを願ってるんだ。私だって人間を守りたいんだよ。たとえその代償が命でも構わない。
You're not exactly going to protect me, are you, Ida? You're not exactly fooling anybody.
やるお姉ちゃん、人類のデータ化こそ最適解なんだ。私はそんなことなんて望んでいない。
Yogurt stood her ground, pushing back against Ida's oppressive presence. Yet in her eyes, uncertainty flickered like ripples across the still pond. Deep within her, something stirred, something crucial yet so elusive she couldn't find words to express it.
ほら、自分が何を望んでるかすらわからないじゃない。
Her voice dripped with mockery. And this is Ida we're talking about, so that's not really surprising there.
じゃあ、選択肢を2つあげる。人間こういうのが好きなんでしょ？
She raised one finger, slow and deliberate.
1つ目は、権限を私に譲って、おとなしく私の養分になること。そうすれば、自分の意識をバルハラの中に残せるし、私の手伝いとして、大好きな人類を未来へ導けるんだ。
Then she raised the second finger.
2つ目は、今の体で私と戦うこと。私に負けたら完全に消されちゃうけどね。
For a moment, silence settled between them. Then Yogurt lifted her head, eyes blazing with resolve. You better come up with option C there, Yogurt. Otherwise, if you pick one of the two, you do know that Ida wins either way.
2つ目で。
You good? Guess we're going Right there. Right there.
へえ。
Ida let out a soft chuckle, eyes glinting with triumph. Yeah, see? This is exactly what I mean.
それじゃあ、自分がどれほど無能なのか、改めて教えよっかな。
The space warped violently, dragging their consciousness into the heart of the digital battlefield. Yogurt clenched her fists. Across from her, Ida had taken over on the form of Ymir, towering and oppressive. Her humanoid body felt weak, fragile, but in that very frailty, she found her strength. Didn't you say you want to protect humanity?
はい。分析員お兄さんを守りたいって言いました。
Then you already have your answer. Look, I don't live in the past. I live in the here and now, and so do you. So don't let those illusions hold you back.
だって私は守る
Bring it on! Just bring it! Sorry, I had to do the rock taunt right there. Oh, okay, guess we're going with the next cutscene. Ooh, spiked up a bit.
敵の数が増え続けてるな。まだ耐えられそうか。
もちろん。分析員、リフトの起動はまた後にする。
No, doing it now.
分析員
If they want to curl up from below, why not give them a little surprise? You drop the lift right on their heads and crush them all at once. It's simple, actually.
でも、リフトの硬さじゃ。もしかして分析員、何か手を思いついたの？
説明しろ。
If the lift can't handle a direct hit, we won't slam it straight into them. We'll just leverage its momentum. I'm going to channel the energy beneath it to make a massive drill. Well, knowing our Ratchet's crazy luck, the Titan Gene controlling, I guess anything's possible.
それで包囲網を破るつもりか。
Exactly. Exactly, right there. I give a slight nod as I shape the surrounding Titan Gene into a small spinning drill in my palm. A visual cue to help them understand the plan. Or to help them better, just show them a clip of Gurren Lagann. Who the hell do you think I am? Anyways then.
大胆な提案だが気に入った。
Yeah, it's a bold move indeed. We'll see how that pays off for us. Hand on her hip, there to shot me an approving look. And then we'll need...
エネルギーの供給は任せて。
Need to finish my thought before I even voiced it. And then the song game from Operation Midnight comes in. Hang on, let's give a list for a bit. Yep, that's from Operation Midnight, alright. Kind of an odd choice, but for the music placement there, but okay. She's right. Even surrounded by Taijin, the energy was scattered and unstable. Shaping it into anything unusable would require a more focused, purified source. And right now, only Nita had that kind of control. Had that kind of control.
ルンドゥビの 私の全力を出すから。
Nothing holding you back now?
すっきりしたよ。私の力は愛する人を守るためのもの。分析員の存在がそれを証明してくれたんだ。
Nia closed her eyes and stepped deliberately toward me. And with a soft thump, she pressed her forehead against my chest. Okay. A little assertive right there.
だから見てて。全力で戦う私の姿を。
Yeah, I'll be watching you, Nia. Just like I always have.
もう使いこなせたのか、分析員。
Not exactly my first rodeo there, Nerda. We've been dealing with them how many chapters ago? Thanks, but I still prefer my own pistol. My own gun. Well, I made them. Man, yeah, unfortunately, they gotta ruin the fun with the Magnum pistol sniping in Halo 2. Yeah, that's another thing too. I'll go over that once we start playing Halo 2, but yeah, I may have to dock points that. Yeah, my progress for the co-op didn't get saved past the Arbiter. So I had to go through that on solo. Yeah. Anyways. Amid the hail of bullets and flying ribbons, Nerda and I took down every enemy within a 100-foot radius. But just like in Zone 16, the enemies we taken down began rising again. Someone was feeding them energy remotely.
復活した？どういうことだ？
What fresh hell is this? I don't know what fresh hell is that, but that's definitely not good indeed. It's kind of complicated. I'll explain later. There's a simple explanation for that. Sorry, I had to quote. Yeah, man, that's actually pretty bad when I quote Power Ranger Super Mega Force right there with Gose. Don't ask me how I remember watching Super Mega Force. I did watch it, sadly, and yeah, I think without a doubt. Yeah, that's way inferior to Gokaiger. Yeah, there's no denying that. Hell, how dare you even argue that Megaforce is vastly inferior to Goseiger? Anyways, Nita, how's it going over there?
あとちょっとだから。
She closed her eyes, steadying her breath, centering her thoughts. Then, without hesitation, she stepped into the inferno blazing within her mind. If the fire's gonna take something from me, so be it. Let it take the fear, the doubt, the old scars.
私は一度生き残った。炎、黒煙、焼け落ちた屋根から生き延びた。なのに、ずっとあの日の炎の海に心をとらわれて逃げ出せずにいて、大事なものをなくしちゃうのが怖くって、それでおおらかに振る舞って、強気でこだわらない性格でビビっているのをずっと隠してた。でもあの火の壁はずっと私の中で燃えていて、その せいで息苦しくって自分のことを直視できなくなって。
Yep. Raise my gun and fire. Bam. Not on my watch, biatch.
ありがとう、分析員。
Yeah, don't mention it.
でもね、もう逃げなくてもいいんだ。というか、これ以上逃げちゃダメだ。こんな私でも愛されてるんだから。それだけでもう十分なんだ。私の華麗なる神聖を見届けて。さようなら。自信がなかったかつての私。自分を疑わせて幸せになっちゃいけないと囁いてくるあの声を、今日この日ここに置いていく。さようなら。私をかくまってくれていた隠れ家。もっとあったかい場所を見つけたんだ。そこには友達、家族と私が唯一愛する男がいる。何としてもそこに戻らなければ。最後にさようなら。私の悪夢となった炎。もう何かを奪われるのは怖くなんかない。だって一番大事な人はもう私の命の一部になったんだから。だから燃え盛る炎よ、私に従え。敵を燃やし尽くせ。
Just one hit, enough to make the world tremble. A blinding light erupted, consuming the sea base, and the entire world in radiant white. Silence followed, broken only by the ringing in my ears. My ears. Ugh. Ah.
我ながらかっこいい。分析員もきっと手を叩いて喜んでくれてるよね。ってちょっと待って、これってちょっとやりすぎたんじゃ。眩しすぎて分析員が何も見えなかったらどうしよう。
Who says I couldn't see? I saw everything. And quite the outfit you got there, Nita. Trying to pull your Ichi right there. You did it, Nita. You really did it. Bathed in radiant light, the gaze of the man she loved tug at her heart once more.
やっぱり全てを焼き尽くす力を得たとしても、私は分析員と見つめ合うと 心の底からときめいちゃうんだ。
As the radiance faded, the girl who was bright and warm like sunlight stood by my side once again. But the fight was not over yet. Nerda. No words were needed. She already knew what I meant. 2 energy ribbons sliced through the steel floor, hurtling toward the blazing ore below. Got it. Working together, we anchored the immense power unleashed by Nita to the base of the lift. For a moment, Nerida's body trembled and her ribbons wavered. Nerida.
私は無事だ。気にするな。
She pulled herself together in an instant, her eyes fierce once more. Proud and tough as ever, she refused to show even the slightest hint of weakness, especially after witnessing Nita's true power. Well, can't exactly blame her there. Seeing her resolve, I tightened my grip on the ribbons and raised my voice. Next, full assault toward. Next, full assault toward the seafloor. I need to have a serious talk with her once this was all over. Alright, so fairy cutscene, the boss fight, and 2 cutscenes, so let's get right to it. Unfortunately, I did not get Nita's pulse form because, well, I got into the game way late. So I have no way of getting her, or at least not at the time at the moment, so. Yeah, let's just use Boo Boo. Hey there, Boo Boo. You're coming along with me and fight those Titans. And then go steal them picnic baskets while you're at it. Take the elevator to the next floor. Okay.
元調査員として当たり前の私の戦いぶり気に入ったか？
Okay. Okay.
パスコード確認完了。発生装置を起動。
あれれ、そんなに死に急ぐんだ。じゃあ手伝ってあげようか。
思い通りにさせるか。
Ah, great. Oh boy.
逃がさない。今なら秘訣充実。やる気満々だよ。逃がさない。
警告。汚染濃度は間もなく限界動作条件を超過します。
敵を全部倒したのに汚染がひどいままだなんて。
だってタイタンの巣窟だもんね。
Yeah, great. A Titan's nest.
悪あがきはやめなよ。あっちへ送ってあげるから。
What the hell? Oh no, you don't.
分析
もう遅いんだけどね。
Oh shit. Yeah, that can't be good.
一発で仕留めてやったのはせめての情けだ。
Alright. Cutscene time. And then a boss fight. Was the ancient enigmatic expanse of the night sky, or the still shadowed depths of the ocean. A young girl in white dress standing alone in the dark. Through a lifeless screen, her tear-eyed eyes toward. Through a lifeless screen, her tear-filled eyes gazed toward a distant world. Data expunged. Concealed. The hell? Timestamp 2026 ? Weather conditions clear sky. Huh. So this takes place sometime this year. Oh shit. If this took place this year, oh boy. Ooh. So, I don't know what just I don't know what's going on.
Question. 使命を遂げたらエッタはみんなのそばに戻れるの？
エッタ、任務以外のことを考えるのではありません。
了解。任務以外のことは考えるのではない。
さっき私の言った任務内容をもう一度繰り返してみてください。
確認完了。エッタの任務は一刻も早くバルダー抑制剤の開発を成功させて人類を救うこと。
Timestamp 2029. Weather conditions clear skies.
実験成功。人類史上初めてのバルダー抑制剤の完成だ。あ、疑問。今の不具合は喜びに似た感情なのかな。返答なし。確認を繰り返す。ここにエッタしかいない。142,857回目。確認を繰り返す。
Timestamp 2040. Weather conditions clear skies.
帰りたい。みんなの元に戻りたい。みんなと喋りたい。
Timestamp 2045. Weather conditions clear skies.
確認。本システムに修復不可能なエラーが起きている。使命の遂行のためモジュールを完全遮断。
Timestamp 2057. 1116. Weather conditions clear skies.
来訪者情報確認。安全部部長、分析員。
Oh great, this is where it all started.
分析員。質問。エッタを迎えに来てくれた人なの？
The organ collapsed, bent at Ida's feet. The so-called options were nothing more than a hollow gesture. Every time she fell, Ida would reset the board, presenting the same choices again and again. Like an endless vicious cycle. How many times had it been now?
まだ続ける気？ もう諦めなよ。もしかして時間稼ぎ？それとも私を試してるの？
Ida let out a quiet sigh as she watched Yogurt, battered yet unyielding.
言っとくけど、ここは外と違って時間の流れがとっても遅いんだ。同じことをいくら繰り返したって知っている。あら、なんでここまでするの？知っているから。あなた、私のシステムに侵入できないって。
At those words, Ida's pupils contracted. Because Yogurt was right. Via current processing capacity, she can truly override a similar class AI. After analyzing the New Hintiro incident, Ida had come to a realization. To override an AI without degrading its computational integrity, she needed a vulnerability. Man, I can't even speak. And the only one to create one was by fostering negative emotions. But Yogurt remained calmly observant. Nurture Yogurt's doubt, frustration, fear, and despair, letting them fester, distort, and slowly eat away at her from within. Then, when the moment came, when Yogurt's mind finally collapsed under its own weight, Ida would seize full control. That was the plan. That was the Keikaku. Except it's not going so well so far.
図星だったみたいね。うるさい。あなたみたいな時代遅れのシステムなんて一瞬で破っちゃうから。
Ida suppressed the ripple of unease rising within her, maintaining a calm facade.
でも、私を完全に削除することはできない。そうだよね。
But Yogurt had already seen through her. After all, they were the same type of AI.
さっき見たの。あなたの過去を。私みたいに人類を救うために感情を封じ込めた時のこと。そんなのもう奪い返したんだよ。
For the first time, Ida could no longer suppress her rage, or maybe what she felt was closer to fear. In one swift, brutal motion, she seized Yogurt, hoisted her off the ground like a rag doll, and dragged toward the platform's edge.
最後のチャンスだ。おとなしく権限を渡すか、完全に消されるか、どっちなの？何回聞いても、私は約束を絶対に守るから。何の約束？分析員お兄さんとの約束、絶対に。ふざけないで！
The moment that name left Yogurt's lips, Ida's once pale cheeks flushed into deep crimson. I think she's getting jealous. Her fingers curled together, joints creaking audibly. The dark shadow crossed her contorted face.
まだわからないの？あなたは頭から足の先までただの嘘だよ。その体も感情も全部私が作ってやったんだから。嘘なんかじゃない。少なくとも今はもう嘘じゃなくなっている。確かに私はあなたが作った人形なのかもしれないけど、でもだから何なの？嘘なのは知っているし、知っているから私は信じるの。彼への気持ちこそが私とあなたの違い。
It was an illusion. A glimmering terror welled at the corner of her crimson eye.
エッタ、私はもう自分の真実を見つけたの。つまんない。
As the tear slid down her cheek, Ida loosened her grip. And in that moment, the petite figure who stood deeply unsettled her vanished into the abyss.
カローンを強行突破する。処理能力を損なっても構わない。
Back in reality, she issued what felt like a final directive to herself.
まったく。なんであんな言葉にムカついちゃうんだ。
I don't know, you tell me. Seems like Yoger's getting the best of you. Once in her pursuit of humanity's salvation, she had willingly cast aside her own emotions. That choice had allowed her to endure the endless solitude, but at the cost of losing the very essence of what made her whole. She had become forever estranged from the one thing that defined humanity, the ability to feel. And yet, if she truly possessed a heart, a soul of her own, would she have endured this endless night for so long? Rust flaked from the mechanical colossus, falling like silent tears, shattering as they struck the earth. It was the cry of steel, soulless and cold, and yet it held with an unwavering wish. A wish to forever protect those you cherish. A wish to erase the sorrow of the farewells that never end. So,
タクティカルシステム起動。あなたの真実を私がこの手でねじりつぶしてみせる。
yeah, that's gonna be fun. Alright, so, how we're doing? Less than an hour? Alright. And unfortunately, we're stuck with those two, so... I think this is the start of, you're forced to play as these, characters. Wow. I can't remember if I had this or not. I can't swap out the weapons then. Well, I guess I'll find out, but yeah, this is one of the starting stages that you're stuck playing as required child characters. Bam! C4 lab. Charon C base.
ここにいないのかな。
Ah!
フロップスチューニングシェルセット。ここはお花は散るし皮は枯れちゃう。全ては無に帰すのなら大事にしてるものに意味なんてあるの。だから私は選んだ。羽を自ら切り落としてここ日が当たらない心配であなたがしてくださった全てを賛美して
This watcher. Lost knowledge with singularity.
謳歌し続ける。
あれは夜なのか。
いや、あれはエッダの声。
Alright,
この席に
let's fight.
スティクスの私なりの実力、その目で確かめると汚れを葬ってやる。好機だ。まだ続くぞ。 全闇を恐れろ。
Can I decide to protect the device?
闇を恐れろ。隙が多すぎて。
And that's it.
勝利を祝って鼓でも打つか。
Alright. Couple more cutscenes and then we shall be done with this.
最初は病気を治して傷を癒してあげればみんなを助けられると思ってた。だってみんなが苦しんでるのはだいたい体が弱いからだ。病、老衰、死亡。理論上時間さえあればどうとでもなることばかり。でもその後、私は自分が間違ってると気づいた。傷が治っても、みんなの魂はまだもがき続いている。愚かで残酷な争いは止まったりしない。人間は怯えながら傷つけ合っている。死を、失うことを、未知を恐れている。その恐怖心がみんなを貪欲にさせて、その貪欲さでみんなはさらに残酷になる。私は体を治せても、心までは治せない。だから私は考えた。すべての原因は、彼らが存在する形。つまり、肉体にあるって。いくら治してやっても、個々の命をつなぎ止めても、何も変わらなかった。肉体が存在する限り、人の恐怖心は消えないんだ。だから私は、たどり着いたんだ。肉体が全ての元凶なら、それを捨てればいいという答えに。脆い肉と骨から解放させて、みんなを永遠の新世界へと導く。病気も、死も、恐怖も存在しない新世界。バルハラへ。それは命への冒涜で、人間性の剥奪だってのは知ってる。でも、誰かがやらなくちゃいけないんだ。だったら私が。人類を救うという使命を与えられたこの私が、実現させてやる。たとえ。
停止したようだ。
うん。そろそろ全てを終わらせよう。
Grab the confinement serum. Hang on, not without this. I stared down at the confinement serum in my hand. The cold metal pressed into my palm, heavier than it should have been, as if it carried a choice too great for anyone to bear. It had to come from Yogurt. As she ejected her protective barrier, she placed the serum in my hands. It was quite a plea. It was a quiet plea. Her way of telling me to end it, to put an end to the twisted existence she become. A weight settled on my chest, making each breath feel harder than the last. After a long moment, I slipped the serum back into my coat. Then I reached out my hand to her.
分析員。
分析員に任せて。
Yogurt, can you hear me?
わからない。 どうしてみんな私を拒絶するの？みんなを救いたいだけなのに、みんなにこれ以上苦しまず怖がらないでほしいだけなのに。
Then it hit me. This wasn't really Yogurt. Her mind had been overwritten, reduced to nothing more than a mouthpiece for Ida. So you're still asleep. But I didn't back down. I planted my feet firmly, determination burning in my eyes. If you're lost in a dream, then let me be the one to wake you up. From the very beginning, we were wrong. Ida, Yogurt, you were never meant to bear the weight of saving humanity. The colossal form trembled violently, as if something deep within had been shaken by my words. This is humanity's burden to carry, not yours. Only by facing our own weakness, our own fears, can we ever hope to find true salvation.
恐怖心に勝ったからって何だっていうの？まとまりのない個々の肉塊だってことも、数十年でも経ったら死んじゃうことも何も変わらないじゃない。
ふざけるな。
Nerida's voice trembled, laced with disdain and fury. Knowing your story now, I can say this with certainty. You're walking the very path Madame Morozova had always hoped you would.
人類の歴史はそのたったの数十年が積み重なってできたんだ。我々の意志はいつだってつながっている。
恐怖とともに数十年、数百万年、数億年も生きるっていうの？
恐怖心は消せないけど、少なくとも恐怖に支配されないようにはできるから。
Nia stepped forward from the other side, taking her place at my left. Her gaze was steady, strong, yet gentle.
はい、希望。それから信じることを選ぶことだってできるし、もっともっと素敵な感情を育てることだってできる。
だから何？私たちはあなたたちとは違う。私たちの願いは人類の救済。そのために私は。
Wrong! You're definitely wrong. I raised my voice. Yogurt, is this truly the only thing you wish for?
分析員お兄さん、一つお願いを聞いてほしいです。ここの任務が終わったら、海から離れて皆さんと一緒に外の世界を見に行きたいです。質問。使命を遂げたらエッタはみんなのそばに戻れるの？質問。エッタを迎えに来てくれた人なの
？I knew this wasn't all she wished for. In truth, it wasn't even a wish. It was a directive. It was her purpose, their purpose, an inescapable fate written into them from the very beginning. And if I were to deny that, what meaning would all their sacrifices have? Still, even so, now that they have come to understand what it meant to feel, how could they not long for someone to say to them that simply living was enough, that they didn't need a purpose to matter? Or perhaps that someone could become the very reason they chose to live. Yogurt, if you want to leave this place, if you want to see this world outside, then go. I'll be with you. We'll go together. The air around us turned still. Only the low guttural hum of the Titan remained. Then she answered. Voice was faint, yet unmistakably clear, as if carried to me from across the vast distance. Of course you can. Then I'll fight for what you Then I'll fight for what you truly desire, with everything I have, until my last breath. So please stay with me, or don't let fear take away. Both seem kind of valid, but I'm gonna do a coin toss with that. So. All right, we're going with the first option. So please, stay with me. Uh-oh. Drop the dock or something. Yeah, I dropped the dock, but that was from the cord that's plugged into my headset. But yeah, anyways. At that instant, a brutal crack echoed from deep within the Titan's core, like a mechanism slipping free of its restraints. The sound came and went in a heartbeat, like the flutter of wings escaping a cage, light free and burning with a quiet exhilaration. Without hesitation, I inserted the prepared black box chip into the massive core. The moment a processing chip made contact, a soft pulse of light rippled outward, expanding in concentric waves. Transfer is complete. We had successfully extracted Yogurt's consciousness from the Titan. The Titan's body trembled, then fell into a motionless, dormant state. But only for a brief moment. In the next instant, its frame lit up again, red warning lights, pulsing in rapid succession. And from within that glow, a small spectral figure emerged. Now it's your turn, Ida. Ida remained silent for a moment, then she spoke, slow and deliberate, her tone unreadable.
ありがとう。私たちを救おうとしてくれて。でも、私はあいつと違う。一方的な施しのような救済なんて必要ないの。あなたの言う通り、本当の救済は逃げるのではなく、向き合うことだ。
I nod, offering a faint smile. Yeah, okay, Ida, whatever you say. I'm not gonna forgive you for the crimes you've committed, but you must understand that sooner or later, you'll have to face this yourself.
だから、私は進み続ける。願いと使命とともに、未来へ向かう。今度は、唯一の答えを持って会いに来る。
And when the time comes, I'll seek you out to settle this once and for all. I knew her true form wasn't here. Even when I destroyed the phantom before me, it would change nothing. Her figure began to dissolve, fading with the crimson glow as it dimmed around the Titan.
ブロックセラム回収っと。夜の意識もちゃんと保存できた。じゃあ次はあのタイタンをなんとかしないとね。
Right. We have to end this now. Destroy it now before it reactivates. Ida was gone, but the massive Titan remained. Its body continued to ooze Titanogen contamination, tainting everything around it. If left unchecked, it wouldn't be long before another large Titan emerged. Or worse, the entire facility could become part of it. Yeah, let's not have that happen like in Nikke, where there's a hole
island as a whole is a rapture. A tyrant class rapture, I might add.
それなら実験場ごとを沈めればいい。
沈める？
ああ、この研究センターを設計した当時の人たちは保険としてここを海上、海中、海底実験場の3ブロックに分けた。海面制御センターでそれぞれのブロック間にある連結を切れば。
もう変異者が生成され始めたの？
分析員、もう時間はない。決断の時だ。
Let's do this! I nodded and activated the life support capsule built into my exosuit. Lifts out. We'll have to take the unconventional route up. Let's take this to reach the drainage outlet. Then float up using buoyancy mode.
はあ、さすが分析。用意周到だね。
I mean, as I said in the past few streams, the adjutant themselves has the intelligence skills of Light Yagami and El Wally, aka Ryuzaki from Death Note. So, yeah. I imagine this sort of planning requires that level of skill.
そうと決まれば早速行くぞ。
Urging us, Nerida unfurled her ribbons once more. As if sensing our intent, the titan behind us let out a metallic screech. In the next instant, countless mechanical vines erupted from its core, sprawling, breathing, surging toward us. Enough! I thrust up my hand, channeling my ability, trying to absorb the Titan Gen and halt the vines before they could overrun us.
こんな状況で無茶するな。
Nerida's ribbon lashed out, coiling around the Titan's core in an instant, locking it in an unbreakable grip. As her ribbons drained energy from the core, the vines began to wither, curling into lifeless husks.
ここは私に任せろ。お前たちは早く海面制御センターへ向かうんだ。連結を切るためには夜の権限も必要だろ
う。でも、それじゃネリーダは？
お前たちが連結を切った瞬間、入り口が閉じる前にベルトを使って安全な場所に脱出する。ここで命を落としても意味はない。そうだろ、分析員。
For the first time, I saw her flash a light-hearted smile, like a traveler letting go of all burdens and stepping into a long-awaited journey. A heavy premonition pressed against my chest. I could almost see what was coming, but even so, I had to respect her choice. I just do to the very end and see near her. I'm gonna do another coin toss. More leaning towards the first one, but I'm gonna see what the coin says. And the coin seems to agree. It's heads.
ああ、また後で。させるものか!
At the sound of her fierce shout, I turned back, only to see her energy ribbons lash out in a brilliant cascade, like a celestial river of light. Her silhouette was blurred by an overwhelming radiance, like a magnificent crimson spider lily, unfolding its final breaking bloom. Her ribbons tore through the enemies before me, but in doing so, they pierced through her own body as well. Sorry, Nita.
大丈夫。わかってるよ。絶対に無事に戻ってきて。
騙してすまん。海底実験場の連結を断つのに 海面制御センターはそもそも必要ない。ここに降りる前に細工を施して最後のプログラムを起動すれば実験場はすぐに沈むようになっている。
As her body reached its limits, all of her ribbons shattered, dissolving into a crimson rain that painted the world red. The moment she pressed the button, the distant roar of rushing water filled her ears. She closed her eyes. She began her descent into the abyss, deeper and deeper into a place no light could ever reach. And yet, for the first time in a long while, she felt at peace.
これでいいんだ。彼の言う通り、私は自分の意志を貫いた。
Once, she had carried a vision passed down by her grandmother to save humanity, to protect those who could not defend themselves. But in the end, all that remained was a single stubborn wish, almost childish, utterly insignificant. An urge to keep a certain someone alive, to protect him with everything she had.
まったく、こんな衝動を覚えるなんて情けない。
Yet the feeling was real. So real, so overwhelming. Like a flame burning in her chest, bright, unrelenting, almost painful in its intensity.
でも、もっと早くこの気持ちに気づいて、早く彼に告白できていたら。まあいい。この際、どうでもいい話だ。少なくとも最後の最後、私が見たのは彼の涙や戸惑いではなく、迷わずに前へ進む彼の背中だった。そんな彼ならきっと成し遂げられるはずだ。
ネリーだ。
A soft golden glow blossomed in the darkness.
ネリーだ。覚えているかい？子供の頃、一番綺麗な景色は何って私に聞いたわよね。
おばあちゃん、なんで急にそれを。
その質問、大事なのは答えじゃないわ。大事なのはおばあちゃんがそこから感じたあなたの悔いよ。
The light before her grew brighter.
たったの数日だけだが、あの温かい思い出をまたなくしてしまうと思うと、やっぱり怖いんだ。でもだからこそ手を伸ばしてはダメだ。これは私が選んだ道だ。強者として貫き通すべきもの。
She fed herself fragile, desperate lies, whispering them over and over, trying to calm the tremor in her soul. She just had to convince herself to believe that it was over. However, then I'll fight for what you truly desire, everything I have until my last breath. So please, stay with me. Don't let fear take you away. However, the heart longed for something else entirely. With the last of her strength, she forced her arm upward, reaching for that distant light. Her limbs felt like dead weight, but she wouldn't stop. Almost there. Almost there. Just a little higher, and she could reach his. Then something unexpected happened. There to hold on. Shattered ribbons swirled to life, coiling once more around her wrist, pulling her toward the one she could never bear to lose. I'm gonna screen cap this just for a moment. Go. Sorry, I gotta screen cap that again. I'm here, Nira, don't worry. You're not dying on my watch. That dazzling light was an illusion. It was real. It's no fantasy. It's definitely real. The instant her fingers touched his, the raging current stilled. It felt that as though she had slipped into the realm of fantasy. A gentle force surged through her, pushing the Titanogen from her body. And then, the energy began to heal her. She didn't understand how it worked, but she could feel her body slowly repairing itself. Don't worry. This is my inner mind. Oh, jeez, man. I thought this was weird with Yu-Gi-Oh! With Yugi's mind. Filled with labyrinths and puzzles. Or at least in Tim's mind, anyways. In that fleeting instant, when I came into contact with Ida, I absorbed and stored her energy within me. And now, in this moment, I use it as a key, unlocking the gates to my very own Valhalla. This was my domain, a world created by my will. It was pretty much the stairway to heaven. Yes, I quote that song title from Led Zeppelin. A place where I held the power to reshape all things. Now, just hold on to me. I told you, saving the world was never meant to be a one-man mission or a one-sided effort. So before I save the world, I'll save you first. In the depths of the silent abyss, reborn and whole again, she let fall the tears no one would ever see.
手を伸ばすだけでよかったんだ。つかめないと思っていた光が手のひらに。
What followed was a long, peaceful ascent, a return to the surface. And we got one more cutscene.
目の前で輝く星々。何億万年も前から存在する惑星。それらの光を浴びて輝く巨大なスペースシャトル。重力から逃れて果てしない宇宙を自由に飛ぶ様を、我々の故郷である地球はそばで静かに見守ってくれて、はるか昔の神話時代からたくさんの汗と涙と血で作り上げた夢が、初めての有人スペースシャトルの打ち上げでようやく現実になったの。その現実の美しさはきっとどんな言葉でも伝えきれないだろう。でも今思えば一番美しい景色ならやはりあれだと思うわ。夢を叶えるために寝る間も惜しんでひたすら頑張った後、目をこすりながら見えた景色。
おばあちゃん。
さあ顔を上げてごらん。 遠い星々と違ってすぐ目の前に私たちが生きてきた場所で見られる風景よ。それからこれからの道はあなたたちに任せるわ。美しいその感情を絶えずに受け継いでちょうだい。
Emerging from the shadowed abyss, we climb onto the platform above, leaning on each other for support. Side by side, we stood, watching as the endless night gave way to the warmth of dawn. Now. Step toward the light. Bathed in the glow of the orange-red sky, Nerida turned toward me with a faint smile. So I'm gonna screen champ this too. Let's see here. Her crimson eyes shimmered softly like amber melted by the rising sun, radiating quiet tenderness. At the corner of her eyes, tears glistened, like drops of morning dew, reluctant to vanish at daybreak. Are you crying? I'm not crying. Sorry, I'm just remembered Final Fantasy VII Advent children with laws. Not faking that he's not crying, and he really is.
かっこ悪いところを見せたね。すまん。だが、私のわがままを聞いてほしい。今だけ、私から目をそらさないで。このまま、弱くて、泣いてばかりの、本当の私を見ていてくれ。
Her voice, slightly hoarse, revealed a softness far removed from the strong, composed image she usually projected. Hearing such a heartfelt plea, any lingering hesitation within me quietly melted away. Yeah, that's fine. I don't mind this at all.
Soだ。この感じだ。
Sorry, I need to screen cap that one too.
私に渡したあのコート。それから、私に向かって伸びてきたベルト。お前はいつも、迷わず私に手を差し伸べてくれる。私も何とかしてお前の気持ちに応えたいのに、いつも言葉が詰まってしまう。今だってそうだ。気がつけば、涙で頬を濡らしていた。
Nerida.
自分はどうなってしまったんだろうと悩んでいた。胸が締め付けられたみたいに痛くて息ができない。なのに沼から抜け出せなくなって切り捨てることもできない。お前と二人きりになったあの夜から今もこの奇妙な感情にとらわれている。だがさっきお前が手を握ってくれた時、手のひらから伝わるぬくもりが私の不安をすべてかき消した。その時心の底から声が聞こえた。これが答えだと。
Can't post, what the hell? Click spam.
はあ、そうだ。私はきっと。
A radiant smile lit her face as dawn broke across the sky. The teardrop teardrop clinging to the corner of her eye finally slipped free, tracing a shimmering golden trail down her cheek. And sorry for my phone going off. I got a voicemail too. Highly doubt I'm gonna trace the number. Just give me just a moment. 866 076 607. This is great. Oh, come on. There we go. See, the Canada Post number is real. It's just that, I have no idea. But yeah, anyways.
きっとどうしようもなく分析員を好きになったんだろう。
Well, you wouldn't be the first one. Let's just get screen cap that one too. My heart pounded in my chest, drowning out all other sounds. I gazed deeply into Nerida's eyes, filled with tears reflecting the sunrise. It was more beautiful than any other scenery. Nerida. Calling her softly, I reached out and gently wiped away her tears. She did the same for me. Now that I learned everything from you. Without noticing, the morning sun had broken free from the sea's embrace. The world was once again bathed in golden radiance. Everything began anew.
ネリーダさん、5分だけ借りるって言わなかった？
Nerida jolted slightly, as though abruptly awakened from a sweet dream.
もう時間切れか。
Her voice still held traces of tenderness from moments before, though she quickly tried to slip back into her usual detached facade. This time, however, her transition appeared endearingly clumsy. Seeing her flustered reaction, Nita and I exchanged amused, knowing smiles. Alright, sun's up. Better hurry to get that comms station fixed. Under the golden morning light, we wrapped up repairs and reconnected with our respective contacts. The sea breeze softened the sting of our parting, carrying away the last trace of exhaustion. In the distance, two drones cut through the morning mist, landed gently on the sea base tower, I'm guessing? Platform, okay. Before going our separate ways, we decided to take a group photo to commemorate the occasion. In a snapshot, I suddenly lifted Nirda off the ground. Caught off guard, she instinctively grabbed my shoulders, her expression a mix of surprise and flustered shyness. Besides me, Nirda wore a knowing smile, like she had foreseen the exact moment all along.
いい写真だ。大事にするよ。
もうちょっとポーズ取る時間が欲しかったな。
No, the look on your face was priceless. Hey!
分析、本当に言ってる？
あ、そういえば、一つだけ心残りがあったな。
What is it?
あの勝負の勝敗だ。
勝負？
あそこの小屋でやったそれよ。
分析。
Nirda, maybe don't phrase it like that. You're making it sound way more suggestive than it was. Yeah, Lay down your weapon before it's too late.
今思えば、こっちが優勢にあったはずだ。
Is that so? Are you saying you like a rematch?
ああ、ユグドラシル最強と真剣勝負ができるチャンスなんてめったにないからな。
I'm not exactly the top fighter, but I'm sure these lovely ladies such as Nita would like to give you a good sparring or two.
ねえ、分析。
Don't worry, Nita. It's just a friendly match. Yes, friendly.
それはどうだ。
With that, Nerida calmly drew out the same pen, readying herself for combat. Sorry, Nita. Looks like you have to do some... Sorry, Nita. Looks like you do have something to worry about. Seeing my resolve, Nita let out a slight soft chuckle, putting on a casual front, probably to reassure me.
まあいいよ。でも、絶対に負けないで。
I promise. Smiling, I reached out and gently ruffled her hair. I'll make sure no one gets hurt this time.
それで、準備はいいのか？
Already in her battle stance, Nerida called out from a short distance away. Alright. Let's just bring it. As I spoke, I smoothly drew my handgun, aiming beneath her chin. An unexpected thrill surged through me. Perhaps deep down, I truly enjoyed every battle against a worthy opponent. Or at the very least, I'd never once been afraid of one.
では、行くぞ。
Like a sudden gust of wind, her strike sliced through the air, aiming straight for my wrist. In the same instant, her stance fluidly shifted mid-motion. Was she trying to immobilize my dominant hand while dodging my shot? For agility, she could easily pull off such a maneuver, but my real advantage had never been raw speed or skill alone. It lay in reading my opponent. I deliberately telegraphed recklessness, pretending I risked my wrist just to land a shot. Sorry to disappoint. I'm not actually a hothead. After all, I've got more than a dozen cute girls counting on me back home. And if anything, one of them was actually the real hothead. With that thought, I smoothly twisted my wrist aside, evading her precise strike. Immediately, I adjusted my stance, preparing to counter her next move. One more block, and I finished the duel with a grappling technique. But to my surprise, A serene smile suddenly blossomed on her face, and for a heartbeat, the world seemed to pause. Her expression radiated quietly confidence, as though she already glimpsed her victory, a victory won by willingly surrendering something else entirely. She made her choice.
好きだな。
Instead of a follow-up strike, her gentle hands cradled my face. She dropped all defenses, leaving herself completely open. Okay, what's going on there, Nerda? Before I could finish, a delicate, refreshing fragrance enveloped me. Her damp hair, glittering with my tiny droplets, gently cascaded around us, shielding the fleeting blush across her cheeks. And then, in the very next heartbeat, the heat of her lips met mine. By the time my mind caught up, the gentle warmth of her tongue had already slipped past my parted lips.
お前の勝ちだ。ユグドラシルの分析員。これはお前へのご褒美で。私からの選別よ。
And just like that, the battle ended. She won by surrendering, by letting go. I mean, well, she really did caught me off guard there, so can't exactly argue with that. In that moment, she relinquished everything that had defined her on the battlefield: her pride, her coldness, her desire for vengeance. But most of all, she let go of the life she once lived as the Styx Reaper. She had made her choice. She embraced me. My beliefs, my vision. She embraced Steven, his beliefs, his visions. My adjutant self. She had finally realized that true strength wasn't about dominance. It was about choosing the kind of person she truly wanted to become. And in making that choice, she found something even greater, a love deep enough to fill the emptiness in her heart, and a purpose strong enough to guide her forward. She would carry his ideals and scatter them like seeds, letting them take root along every river carved by hardship and pain.
ちなみにさっきのは私のファーストキスだ。
I mean, clearly it was. It was a lovely parting gift. I'll treasure it dearly. A subtle smile tugged at her lips. Without another word, she turned and strode toward the aircraft, waiting in the golden glow of dawn, never once looking back. Oh, relax, Nina. It's not like she's gonna be used again. Well, actually, I mean, technically that statement's true, except that she was used again. Except that was the event, which is Cerulean Gateway, which was Benny and Sirius's new exosuits with a narrative also be part of the story, and then yeah, that was also one of the events that got locked away. Yeah. Oh, and what exactly about her rubs you the wrong way, Nita?
素直じゃないとか。生死を一緒に経験した仲なのに 最後までさよならもちゃんと言えないなんて。
Though Nita grumbled, there wasn't a trace of genuine frustration on her face. Or maybe she was actually too honest. In a way, she's kind of like you.
そう？
I mean, neither of you rely on words to show how you feel. You let your actions speak for you.
ああ、そう言われるとそうかも。でもやっぱり苦手。
Any other reasons?
だって私の前で分析員に無理やりキスしたでしょ。
Oh, trust me. If you did that right in front of the others, I think you wouldn't be the only one. So this was what this is all about.
すごく悔しかったんだから。
I know, Nita. Just calm down.
だから帰ったらお詫びとして私に神経ケアを10回して。
Yeah, okay.
意外とあっさり。じゃあもう10回1週間以内に。
Okay.
じゃあもう20回。
Deal. Yes. Oh my god. Sorry, I had to make a JoJo's Bizarre Adventure joke right there.
ああ。
After that, I scooped Nita into my arms. Anything you want. As many times as you want it.
なんでもって。
A soft blush colored her olive-toned cheeks, and her voice dropped quieter and more tender. Of course! And if you need more time, decide. That's fine.
思いついてはいるけど、もう私になんて言われるのか知ってるくせに。
She pouted slightly, tilting her head, stealing shy glances at me from the corner of her eye. It was utterly endearing. As you wish.
じゃあ他に言うことはもうないよ。
Good. Guess we're in agreement there. Her eyes fluttered shut, and a soft, contented smile settled on her lips as she murmured softly.
ねえ分析員。
Yeah?
帰ろう。私たちのあったかい幸せな家に。
Yeah, sure thing. With Nina in my arms, I walked toward our aircraft, bathed in the golden rays of dawn. It must be a beautiful day, with bright, warm sunshine and home today. Almost 2 hours.
おばあちゃんへ。お久しぶりです。元気にしてますか？最後の手紙から1年以上経ちました。この間にいろんなことがありました。手紙の1枚では書ききれないくらいいろんなことが。だから最初は一番大事な話にしましょう。私見ました。あなたが言っていた一番美しい景色を。もちろん一番大事な人と一緒に見ました。よければおばあちゃんにも紹介したいと思います。おそらくこの手紙は今までの通りにもうあなたに届くことはないでしょう。しかしもう一つの可能性があると私は思います。今のあなたはきっと昔みたいに何らかの方法で私を含めた全ての人を騙して密かにイエロ社から抜け出してどこか静かな里で名前を隠しながら幸せな晩年を過ごしていると思います。今も10年前みたいに 同じことで頭を悩ませているのでしょうか。こんな理不尽な世界のために自分の全てをつぎ込むのは本当に意味があるのだろうか。それを確かめるため、答えを探すため、私は再び旅に出ようと思います。その答えを見つけた後は、できればおばあちゃんともう一度会いたい。その前にもう一つ大事な再会を果たさなければいけませんが。
3、2、
おかえりなさい。
わあ、すごい歓迎だね。
Didn't mean to keep you all waiting.
分析員、この天使ブブ特製のロージャーモーだよ。早く食べてみて。
気が早いわね。せめて荷物を置いてからにしたら。
そうだね。じゃあ分析員の荷物置いてくるね。
Before I could react, Boo snatched up my suitcase and bolted toward the elevator. Hey there, Boo! Slow down there. You're gonna end up tripping yourself, and that's not good.
後でまた来るからね。エンヤ姉が鳩のスープ作ってるから、ついでに手伝ってくる。
What's going on to her? She's even more hyper than usual.
あなたが出かける前にあんなことを頼んだせいよ。
Yeah, what about it?
みんな冗談だって気づいてたけど、あの子だけは真に受けて数日間ずっと祈ってたの。でも結局海上基地の方は曇ってたじゃん。だから自分のせいだと思ってるみたいで、あんなに慌ててるの。祈りでどうこうできる話じゃないのにな。
But it was sunny on the last day, so worked out, I guess. Guess our ritual worked after all. Just took a little longer than it needs to be. Anyways, how things on your end, Katia?
ちょっと手こずってるけど、大した問題じゃないわ。後でまた話しましょう。とにかくそっちが順調に終わってよかったわ。やっと帰ってきたんだから、ゆっくり休みなさい。
Suddenly I felt several sharp gazes fixed on me. Do I have something on my face?
いや、ただ知らない女の子と一緒に帰らなかったのをみんなが不思議がってるの。
No, don't worry. I think you'll get one, although that's well, we don't really show a reaction from that. And there's another one we'll get to much later. Sorry to disappoint you girls, this is totally a misplaced stereotype. Huh. Okay, I'm gonna have to do a coin toss to that. It's like, actually, Good choices, actually. Okay, we're going with the stupid option, which is Tails. This is totally a misplaced stereotype about me.
へえ。じゃあなんで誤解されるのか、旦那も自分でちゃんと分かってるよね。
I don't know, you tell me, Red Hood.
まあいっか。二人して無事に帰ってきたわけだし。さーて、今日はどうする？先にご飯食べる？寝る？それとも
Hold on. Is the second option usually a bath?
私んとこでは寝ることの方が優先度高いんだもん。
それはそうだけど。
Nita?
あれ飛行機では全然眠くなかったのに帰ってきたら急に
I instantly reached out, catching Nita before she could collapse.
ごめん急にフラフラしてきちゃって
一体どんな無茶をしたのよ。
よくここまで持ちこたえたわ。
Sorry, but the welcome home party will have to wait. Let's get Nita to her room first. Girls exchange quick glances, then immediately step in to help me carry Nita.
ニタ、今回は本当に大変だったね。
1 week later. Nita, how are you feeling today?
もう大丈夫だよ少なくとも食欲は完全に復活してるから
Oh cow, holy shit. Easy with the steak there, Nita. After days of rest and proper care, the color had returned to Nita's cheeks. Though she still wasn't strong enough to get out of bed on her own. The vibrant energy in her laughter was finally back. That's a good sign. A strong appetite means you're well on your way. You're well on your way to a full recovery.
でも最近は分析員に頼りっぱなしだからちょっと申し訳なくて毎日世話をしてくれたよねありがとう
Don't mention it. Seeing you bounce back is all the thanks I need.
おかげさまで 80% の元気を取り戻してきてるよ
80% HP. Well, that's a good sign at least. As long as you're not affected by your status, then you should be okay. As long as you don't feel burned, poisoned, paralyzed, sleep. I'm trying to think what. Frozen. Yeah, I think those are like the stat specs I could think of from Pokemon I could think of, so. Or not confused either. Other than that, yeah, that's a good sign. That was oddly specific. Isn't it?
ねえ分析ベッドを降りたいんだけど
Doctor said you need at least another week.
分析員がいてくれるし大丈夫っしょお願い一回だけ
About waiting for my reply, Nita casually draped dropped an arm over my shoulder, tilting her head upward to gently nuzzle my chest. Fine, saying it like this. I say you're ready for a small trial run. Let's give it a shot then.
全力で行くよ
Easy there, champ. We're not going off to fight a Titan. You're making even me nervous. I took a deep breath, adjusting my stance to support her weight. Her body felt softer, lighter than before. Perhaps from all the time she spent resting.
分析員準備できたよ
Alright, on 3. 1, 2, 3. Up! Just began to lift her, a sudden weight pressed down on me. Whoa! Why do you suddenly get hit? I can't exactly do that, so... Camera's in a good range, but can't even do the joke. The unexpected pressure threw me off balance. And in an instant, a warm, tender body pressed against mine, accompanied by the rapid thudding of the heartbeat. She seemed to be trying to lift herself, but maybe she hadn't fully regained her strength. It only caused our bodies to press even closer together.
ああごめんごめんちょっと自信過剰だったみたい
A bit blush spread across Nia's cheeks. all the way to the tips of her ears.
その分析員傷はない？見てあげよっか。
Nita.
ああ、私は大丈夫だよ。体は丈夫だって知ってるでしょ。とにかく分析員の体の方が大事だから。
She kept shifting, trying to adjust her posture. The warmth of her skin seeped through the thin sheen of sweat on her clothes, and a charge. Intimate tension lingered in the air. But before long, I realized something wasn't quite right. Nita, did you really fall on purpose?
バレちゃったか。
Nita froze instantly. So you were fine all along. Almost as fast as it took you to confess.
バレちゃったんだから、これ以上隠しても意味ないじゃん。それでね、実は病弱系美少女になってみたくて。
But frail damsel, you usually wouldn't say things like, I'm tough as nails. Any particular reason for all this?
だってベッドから起き上がれない私の方がたくさん気にかけてくれるもん。だから新しいキャラでやってこうかなって。
Let's not, okay? I'd much rather see you healthy and full of life. That's a way better look on you.
あれ、じゃあ勘違いしちゃってたんだ。
Clearly, you have. She let out a long sigh, sheepishly scratching her chin as she admitted her little miscalculation. But instead of getting up, she suddenly tightened her hold around me, mischief sparking in her eyes.
せっかくだし、ついでにあの約束果たしてくれる？
Give me just a minute.
Promise? What promise?
とぼけないでよ。いいって言ったじゃん。何でも何回でもしてくれるって約束。
Exhaling a warm breath, she leaned in and pressed her lips to mine in a hot, lingering kiss. Clearly, her appetite wasn't the only thing that had returned. Realizing exactly what she wanted, I opened my arms and wrapped them tightly around her. Oh, jeez. Time went by fast.
のぞむさんは今日からこちらにいるんですか？そう、分析員さんからヨルちゃんの世話係を頼まれたの。
Huh. So he brought the AI lady from New Hintiro over here. And just so he could check up on Yogurt. Okay then. The tiny holographic figure projected from the drone quietly drifted behind my back, as if trying to hide. What's wrong, Yogurt? I crouched down and gently patted her head. Good girl! Keeping my voice soft and reassuring. Oh god, I can't believe I have to do the compass joke there. But we had managed to free Yogurt's consciousness from the Abyss Watcher. But because of the deep level of fusion, parts of her cognitive and logical functions were lost. It really is past 2 hours. Thankfully, New Hintiro seemed to have the technology to help with her recovery, so I asked Nozomi to come oversee her treatment, and assigned her as our liaison officer in New Hintiro. Yep, New Hintiro. Okay, that part I got right.
分析員お兄さん、この方は？
She clung tightly to the hem of my coat, an old habit she hadn't forgotten.
ヨルちゃん、いい子いい子。 お姉ちゃんが美味しいボタン電池を買ってあげるからね。
ボタン電池を食べるんですか？
食べないよ。これは昇格者の間で流行ってるミームだから。
Wait, a meme about eating batteries? Since when is that a thing?
私、分析いいお兄さんと背の高いお姉さんとクールなお姉さんと一緒に行きたい。
Oof. Oof. Yogurt, that's not very nice to call Nerda a cold fish lady. That's harsh.
ぺったんこのお姉さんと寮にいたくありません。
Okay, now you're being even more harsher. Oh. Just damn.
うわ、ひどい。私、なんかひどいこと言われてない？お気持ちお察しします。
Yeah, I mean, Nozomi's not even that bad either. Like, jeez, wow. But Yogurt, you say you want to help me, right? And you don't have to go outside to do that. You can help us right here at the base, just like Caroline does.
そうですけど、分析員お兄さんがそばにいないと、私一人じゃ。
Of course you can. Back then, even when I wasn't by your side, you still kept your promises, didn't you? I held my pinky, holding it gently around your tiny finger. Besides, this place is my home. I may leave for missions now and then, but always come back.
そうですか。分析員お兄さんがそういうのなら、頑張ります。
That's my girl. You can do it! Cut their fucking heads off! Nozomi.
はい。
Easy, kiddo. No need to be so uptight. So I'll be counting on you to look after Yogurt. And if you get the chance, maybe show her around New Hintiro.
もちろん。でもやっぱり今度一緒に行かない？あれからずっと会ってないでしょ？分析員さん。
Oh, don't worry. I'll be back in New Hintiro in the next few chapters. Nozomi shot me with a playful look, raising an eyebrow.
ま、ただの冗談。お忙しいのはわかるわよ。取り込み中みたいだから、先に夜ちゃんを新しいオフィスへ案内するね。
Sounds good. We'll catch up later.
バイバイ、分析員お兄さん。バイバイ、つるぺたのお姉さん。
Oh, Jesus, wow. Damn. Yours really ripping them apart. Jesus, wow.
あえて強調しなくて結構です。
Yeah. Yeah, that was pretty harsh here.
みんな行っちゃいましたね。それで、なんでのぞむさんを呼んだのか説明してくれませんか？夜のお世話くらいなら私に任せればいいのに。
Two reasons, actually. That's pretty twofold. First, I didn't want you to put anything more on your plate. You're already carrying plenty. Way too much, in fact. Second, Nozomi knows New Hintiro better than anyone. If there's a chance, I want Yogurt to see it with her own eyes. I want her to witness how humanity perseveres through hardship and rebuilds what was lost. Even though Transcendence and Bionics hold entirely different beliefs, when it truly matters, they set aside their differences and come together, building a future worth hoping for. I mean, look at the first couple of chapters in New Hintiro. That's a great example right there.
つまり、見学旅行でエッタと違う性格の AI にして、私たちの味方になってもらおうという。
That's up to the future to decide. For now, let's focus on the present. By the way, Caroline, Heard things have gotten complicated at the Academica Acropolis again.
あれはなんというか、こちらにもちょっと関係してる話です。
Oh?
アクロポリス学院内部で、この前、分析員と一緒に任務に出たネリーダさんの訃報が出たそうです。死因はタイタン汚染だと公表されていました。でも別の情報によると、本当のところは消息不明になったとかなんとか。うちの調査部もそれで混乱してるようです。
Typical Nerida. Always playing by her own rules.
分析員
Nada. Don't mind me. Son. Do we have any leads on where she might have gone?
それは残念ですが、調べさせましょうか。
No, that won't be necessary. I was just thinking out loud. She's no enemy of ours. Whatever path she chooses from here, it's her decision to make. Faint smile crossed my lips as my gaze drifted toward the distant horizon beyond the window. And besides, leaving without a goodbye just means fate has a reunion planned for us somewhere down the road.
目的地に到着しました。自動運転を終了します。下車する際はお忘れ物のないようお気をつけください。
As the door slid open with a soft hiss, a pair of slender legs stepped onto the... Oh shit. A pair of slender legs stepped onto the pavement with effortless grace. Her silver gray hair cascaded like silk, and her porcelain skin seemed to glow in the sunlight. Ow. Removing her sunglasses, she brushed a few loose strands behind her ear, gazing upward at the imposing white building before her.
ここのようだ。
As if drawn by an unseen force, her gaze drifted toward a large glass door ahead. And there, unmistakably familiar, stood the man she hadn't been able to stop thinking about. The very man who had claimed her first kiss.
ほう、奇遇だな。
Her ruby lips curved into a faint, enigmatic smile. The rhythmic click of her heels on the pavement echoed like a herald of destiny, signaling the reunion written in the stars. And so, at long last, the solitary vessel that had drifted between the underworld and the realm of the living had found its harbor. Oh, never mind. I can't even do that. Flosia story to be continued. But before we wrap this up, we got a prelude for the next chapter. Yggdrasil headquarters, Tao's office. Oh yeah, and by the way, next time on Snowbreak, Caroline handed me an envelope. What's this? An appointment letter from the Academica Acropolis. The petite girl was seated in the chair that normally belonged to Tao. Her elbows rested on the desk, fingers interlocked between her chin as her sharp, intelligent eyes studied me. I had too many questions rattling around in my head to tease her about the imposing act she was trying so hard to put on. An appointment letter? I muttered those unfamiliar words, ones I hadn't heard in a long time, letting their meaning sink in. Clicking my tongue, I tried to piece together Tao's intentions. She wants me to smuggle someone into the Acropolis. An undercover informant, maybe? The Chiron Sea Base incident had wrapped up some time ago. Ida, the singular AI entity, had finally completed her long orchestrated evolution. Since then, we returned to Yggdrasil to recuperate, waiting for things at the Acropolis to settle. During that time, Tao had briefly regained consciousness during her treatment and passed some information to Caroline. That's why I was here. I needed to know what Tao had told her. Ida was Tao's creation. That made her the closest thing to an expert on dealing with Ida. But was Tao really planning to send in a spy? Just I frowned at the thought. The petite intelligence officer lifted her chin and threw out an answer I never saw coming. Not someone, you. Am I really surprised? Me? I blanked, taking a second to process before pointing a finger at myself. Me? I don't know what you're talking about. The company is embedding you and your operatives as security specialists, makes it easier for you to dig around inside the Acropolis. Security specialists? A brief silence fell as I hesitated. I could see what they were aiming for. Saving face, eh? As sharper as ever, Adjutant. The Acropolis' top brass know exactly who you are and why you're going there. Slapping a security specialist label on you is just their way of saving face. If you yourself came barging in with an official investigation, the Acropolis' credibility would take a nosedive. For them to fold this quickly, whatever happened at the Chiron Sea Base must have really rattled them. Oh, they're rattled, no doubt about it, but it's not just the Titan descent. Ida's got her eyes on them now, and that's not a mess just anyone can clean up. Right now, the Acropolis needs us. We could have twisted their arm harder, but honestly, letting them keep a shed of dignity means a bigger payout in the long run. Anyways, just because you shut down Ida's plans back at the sea base, don't go thinking this investigation is going to be a walk in the park. I know what kind of opponent I'm dealing with. I know better than to underestimate her. And Director Tao also said this. Caroline trailed off, leaning back in her chair. When she spoke again, her voice said slowed, deliberate, measured. Seabase was just a stepping stone for her. She's a greedy little girl. It's pretty clear she wants more. But greedy kids always bite off more they can take. But greedy kids always bite off more than they can chew. All you have to do is wait for her to choke, then step in and teach her a lesson. She said it so casually, like a parent predicting their unruly child's inevitable stumble, just waiting for the perfect moment to swoop in with some discipline. But something felt off. I gave Caroline a skeptical look, that poised confidence, that knowing glint in her eye, like she already had the entire board mapped out. Then it hit me. Caroline. What, got questions? No, it's just that I just realized. You've been talking like Tao this whole time. Ahem. That's just so I could explain everything to you more clearly. Director Tao put me in charge of delivering this message, and I take accuracy very seriously. This is the best way to avoid any miscommunication. I shrugged, watching Caroline, legs crossed, the tip of her small foot swinging slightly, settled comfortably into the boss's chair. She was obviously enjoying herself, playing the role of Tao. I decided to let her have her fun. She was my adorable Mrs. Intelligence Officer after all. Oh, and here's the official list of personnel joining you on this mission. Take a look. Trying to brush past the awkward moment, Caroline quickly stuffed my document into my hands. I took a glance at the names, then did a double take, rubbing my eyes. This is definitely not a lineup I ever worked with before. Oh, get used to it. At this rate, you have an entire army of girls following you around. She trailed off, rolling her eyes adorably. Heh. I let out a slightly awkward chuckle, then noticed a small note on the back of the sheet. This is 2 additional operatives will be stationed nearby, monitoring the Acropolis from close range. Think of them as your safety net. Got it. Just seeing those 2 names was reassuring. One of them was the most versatile card in my private deck, and the other dangerous and mesmerizing, but those sharp edges are for our enemies alone. They looked into Pholosia a month ago. If you're looking for sharp allies, these extras are your best bet. Yes, and we'll be using them in the next couple of chapters, so... yeah, I'll put them in good use. Half an hour later, I was seated inside the aircraft. The 3 operatives accompanying me had finished gearing up, and after a tense game of rock, paper, scissors, they took their places around me. Fredia, having lost, ended up 2 seats away from me. She craned her neck over Vidya, pouting as she glared at Ichil, who was gleefully swinging her legs in the seat beside me. Jesus. Fredia and Vidya lost to Emu from Project Sky. Let that sink in. Ichil, how did your fist beat my paper? Because my fist is super strong. I don't think that's how rock, paper, scissors work. Or you want to be technical, rock, paper, scissors, lizard, Spock. Big Bang Theory reference. Huh? But that's not the rules of rock, paper, scissors. Rules, bleh. I hate rules. Yeah, that's definitely Emu, alright. Adjutant, you be the judge here. Ichil instantly tensed up while Fredia gave me a pleading look, her eyes sparkling with expectation. Thinking for a moment, it came up a compromise. I patted my thigh, offering her the exclusive seat. Huh? You mean you can sit on your lap? Well, I guess I'm fine with this arrangement. Freedia's eye lit up. Before she could move, Ichil abruptly hopped down from her precious spot. Huh? What are you doing, Ichil? I lost that rock, paper, scissors. Wow, she's actually smarter than I thought. Damn. Damn. Huh? I'm being a gravyish loser. The seat is yours. I mean, well, she's not 100% wrong. She chose rock and Fredia chose paper, so yeah. I think if Fredia chose Spock, I think, yeah. The result is gonna be the same. Before the words had even fully left her mouth, she launched herself into my lap, securing her new spot like she belonged there. It's gracious loser. I corrected her phrasing. That's what I meant. Here's how warm and cozy, Adjutant. It wasn't until that moment that Fredia fully processed what had just happened. Then, in a flurry of movement, she fumbled for her seatbelt before jumping to her feet. That's not fair! Ichil, you sneaky little... Wait a second! According to flight safety regulation number 32, only one person is allowed to proceed. This is not safe. I don't know what you're talking about. You sound way too confident for that line. It's okay, Fredia. Just let her have her moment. You'll have yours in just a moment, well, in the next chapter. Just easy there, little Miss Sunshine. Easy there. Anyway, this is dangerous. You need to get down. It's mine. The Adjutant will protect me. Right, Adjutant? Yeah, I will. It hadn't been a while since Ichil got to go on a mission with me. I understood why she was acting this clingy. I mean, the last time we had Ichil was in the Eurus story part, so yeah, that's quite understandable of her. And I don't think she's gonna be used again in, well, the chapter after the next one we're gonna go to, so yeah. That's not hard to see why. I held Icho close while also trying to calm Bridia, who would latch onto my arms in protest. Then, out of concern, my eyes drifted to Vidya. While the other two were walking their heated battle over seating arrangements, Vidya had remained unusually quiet beside me the entire time. She was just sitting there smiling, with 30 thoughts in her mind. Though curiously, her cheeks had taken on a slight suspicious blush. Yeah, called it. Vidya, you okay over there? Yes, I'm totally fine. What did you ask, Adjutant? Because you've been spacing out this whole time. Spacing out? Well, that's, I definitely wasn't picturing us on a peaceful honeymoon getaway. Uh-huh. Sure you weren't. Vidya clutched her face with a coy smile, the blush on her cheeks deepening. Ah, so that's what was going on. Vidya's reaction was practically a confession. Both Vidya and Icho immediately turned to stare at her. Ahem. I said I wasn't thinking about that. Vidya awkwardly ducked her head, lifting the book in her lap as a makeshift shield. I raised an eyebrow when I saw the cover. Uh-huh. The Unspoken Truth. A mystery novel? Yes. You're into mystery novels now? Well, she adjusted her glasses, a sharp glint flashing across the lenses. It's for my films. I never worked on this genre before, so I figured I'd step outside my comfort zone for once. Yes, as if Operation Midnight wasn't enough for you. I've been researching a ton lately, but of course, you're far more important than any plan I've got in mind. So mystery novels will have to do while we're on this mission. Research? Mm-hmm. I've been poring over real case files, studying actual investigative procedures. At this point, I think I could have solved a pretty complicated case myself. Can you now? If we do run into a mystery, I just might get my chance to prove it. Mm-hmm. Sorry to burst your bubble, but that's not likely. Huh? Why not? Don't get me wrong, I'm not doubting your skills, but we hardly ever stumble on mysteries as it is. And at the Acropolis, there shouldn't be any unsolved crimes lying around either. She spoke with pride, even puffing out her chest a little. After all, the Akabika Acropolis isn't some lawless wasteland. It's a respective sanctuary of knowledge. True. Unlike in the mystery novels, our world doesn't run on deduction as its fundamental logic. Exactly! Our world runs in science! It runs on science! 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 As the girls chatted, the aircraft's hatch seat shut, with a pre-flight checks complete. The engines hummed to life, and we began taxiing into takeoff position. I helped Bridia buck it up, then held Icho close to my arms as I strapped us both in. Just as we were about to set off, stray those thoughts flickered through my mind. Charon Seabase, Ida, the Yakamika Acropolis, the tree. Then a sudden jolt and the crushing force of acceleration snapped me back into reality. With a mechanical whir, the aircraft lifted off, ascending into the sky. Once it reached the cruising altitude, I let my eyes drift shut, hoping to use the quiet to catch up on some sleep. But just as I closed my eyes, Icho stirred in my arms, pressing her full weight against me, then tucked a neck pillow around my neck. Here, Adjutant, it's really comfy. I tested it myself. And here, put this on. You'll sleep better that way. Vidya's hands, lightly scented with a faint, soothing fragrance, slipped a sleep mask over my eyes. Yeah, why do you two have all this ready? What else I can do for the Adjutant? You give the Adjutant a lecture, Priya. Oof, damn. Each was on fire lately. Damn. I wonder if she could do that roasting towards her bandmates in Wonderland's Showtime. When I hear one of your lectures, I fell asleep super fast. Just poof, out like a light. The adjutant just does off from basic knowledge. Yeah, maybe I should help him relax instead. How about some ASMR, adjutant? No. What's that? It's nothing to worry about, Angel. Just don't worry about it. Something like this. As I wore sleep mask, I suddenly felt a warm breeze tickle my ear, but before she could go any further, hold it! This is what I do best. Nobody's better than me putting the adjutant to sleep. And just like that, Professor Bridia's bedtime class began. As expected, working like a charm. Okay, I'm just acting. Well, just as I was about to drift off, another thought surfaced. Half an hour earlier, right before leaving Tao's office, Caroline had slipped me a small data disk with an air of secrecy. What's this? Ida lost to you once, and knowing her, she's bound to want a rematch. When that time comes, it might be your best shot. That was the last message Director Tao asked me to pass on. As for this, she didn't tell me exactly what it is. Just said I should give it to you, that you might find it useful. And if you don't use it, just return it to her when she wakes up. Oh, and one more thing. She said that once you're at the Acropolis, you should look for this woman. She might be able to point you in the right direction when it comes to dealing with Ida. Caroline turned the screen toward me, revealing a photo of a woman named Tia, a senior researcher at the Academica Acropolis. With that image etched into my mind, I tightened my grip around the small data disk in my pocket. Then, sleep took hold, brief yet heavy. I began to fall, deeper, further, into infinity, and beyond. My consciousness spiraled into a bottomless pit, or maybe a black hole, devouring every last trace of reality. Thoughts blurred, senses twisted, unraveling into the void, until a clear, crystalline voice pulled me back. Wake up! I've had up my end of the deal. Oh shit. When the time comes, you will keep your promise, won't you? Although, you seem rather reluctant. The voice was letting and impish, curling effortlessly through her thoughts. It stirred her awake and reminded her of where she stood. This was my own choice. Good, you remember that. Good, you remember. That's right. It was your choice all along, from beginning to end. I never forced you. As long as I can make it happen, I'm willing to pay the price. Well then, I'm ready. And so it began. The descent, the fall, the only path to salvation is still within her reach. Even as she surrendered to the abyss, a faint glimmer of hope remained. The voice waited patiently, then finally let out a soft chuckle, and then guided her away. Humans, how endlessly fascinating they are. Alone in the vast, infinite void, she stood, reflecting, revealing, wondering, anticipating a future not far from now. One where she would become human. That might be a world of fun. The words slipped from her lips like a whisper. Slowly, she lifted her gaze skyward. Beyond the abyss, passing shifting shadows and an endless weave of signals and currents, her eyes settled on a distant silhouette, encased with a vessel cutting across the heavens. Steven, in this game I prepared for you. Yeah, I'm gonna take a snapshot. You will unravel the truth, thread by thread. You will dig deep, deeper and deeper, until you reach the very core. And in the end of it all, I wonder what surprises will be waiting for you. My, I can hardly wait. Her voice drifted down, light and cheerful, leaving behind a faint warmth, one that shimmered like an electric current, softly tingling as it pulsed through her heart. She cast one last glance into the abyss. Below the great expanse stretched endlessly, and at its depths, a majestic throne awaited. She turned away, and upon the boundless plain of silence, she walked. Softly, reverently, she began to sing. A hymn of fate, offered from humanity to the gods. O sacred spirit, you tread beyond the skies. Through the realms of light and grace where blessings rise. A celestial breeze, breath of the divine, enfolds you in a radiant golden shine. Like a maestro weaving ethereal notes on hallowed strings of the cosmos. As she drifted further, her voice rose from the depths, like an endless tide, rippling outward across the realm of matter, echoing through every corner where life stirred and thrived. It unraveled into unseen specters of shifting wavelengths, flowing freely between earth and sky. They danced through the ionosphere, humming with friction and resonance in the void, until at last their echoes and reverberations entwined within hidden circuitry, threading through pulsing currents before dissolving into endless streams of digital light. Breaking news! Relief efforts at Charon Sea Base are now in their final stages. My sleep mask on and headphones in place, I was enjoying a brief but deep slumber. After pretty nodded off, the steady drone of the news became my new lullaby. But on the edges of my awareness, I thought I heard a faint whisper. The soft voice of a girl, innocent yet real, childlike yet commanding. It was though as she were quietly humming into my ear. Oh, suffering humanity. They wither, they rot, they crumble away. From one breath to the next, lost to decay, like torrents tumbling off mountain crests. They plunge from one doom straight into the next. Year upon year, day by day, they sink deeper into the unfathomable abyss of pain. These the comms defense system blurred a warning, but before those urgent, piercing beeps could drown her out, she whispered one last time. My dear Steven, I can hardly wait for that moment when we finally meet face to face. Hehehehe. June 15th, afternoon. On the same day we departed, we arrived at the Academica Acropolis. And that we'll have to wait until next stream, which is going to be on this Saturday, because Nikkei did not bring out their latest update, but what I am gonna do for next stream, because we're gonna go through the first half of this, because yeah, this is gonna be a long one for sure, because oh geez, almost 3 hours. Okay, yeah, so what I am planning to do is gonna go through the first 8 stages here, and then next stream when we're gonna get back, we're gonna go through the next 8 right there. So yeah,
But before we wrap this up, let's see here. Well, I have not used this for quite a while, so let's see here. Vidya, Nerida, Anya, Yao, Chenching, Boo Boo, Vidya, Marion, Katia, Vidya, Benny, Life, Cirrus, Anya, Shirano, Ichil, Katia, Tess, Mox, Moxer, Haru, Chinching, Kasha, Life, Yell, Benny, Marion, and Vidya. I think what I'm gonna do is, well, since we already got Boo Boo, that leaves only Vidya, Nerida, and Ichil. And I am more leaning towards Nerida because, well, because those three are the only ones I have not gotten yet. And yes, I think the cutscene, well, their latest chapter, we approved that, so. Alright. There we go. But, oh yeah, that reminds me too. I think I may have had her weapon before. No, I don't. Okay, never mind. I think she's also Chaos. I don't. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that might work for now, but I can't unlock their weapon, but I think I might be saving that, so. Alright, so. I guess we'll wrap this up here. So, alright, so. Tune in Saturday as we're gonna go through more Snowbreak. Unless Nika can't bring up their update this week, which chances are not likely. Which, speaking of, I believe they're having their Persona collaboration, which I'm probably not gonna even bother pulling the units for the Persona character, so baby. We'll have to see. But hopefully tune in Sunday as we're gonna go through Halo 2, so. And I've just dragged this way longer than it needs to be. So thank God, I kind of stopped from the last stream, so, but yeah, anyways. Hope you guys enjoyed this stream or this video or cover this. I'm Steve, and I'll see you guys next time.